Anyway, for those of you watching outside, Africa may have an image of a continent riddled with conflict, disease, corruption, poverty, brutal dictatorships. You know what I'm talking about. But that stereotypical negative picture is one that a group of South African students, along with an aid agency in Norway, is challenging. Well, they've turned the tables by producing a fictional Christmas appeal video that portrays Norway as a bitterly cold country full of freezing people in need. And it's Africans, this time, rushing to their aid. Focus on Africa's Alex Jakana has more.
If these were the only images you saw of Africa, then to you it would be nothing but a helplessly troubled continent. And if these were the only images you saw of Norway, then you might see it as a land full of desperate people freezing to death. That is the logic behind this campaign video.
In Norway, kids are freezing.
The makers say, just as it's inaccurate to portray all Norwegians as freezing to death, it's equally misleading to show Africa as a continent of only war, disease, and hunger.
In every country, we have our own problems. But when they come here, they're pushing the stereotypes as if that is the only thing that is going on in Africa, which is not true. Most of the videos that I see on TV, and I look at them, I'm like, that's not me. That's not where I am. That's not my Africa.
So, how do they think this video will change perceptions of Africa from outside the continent?
Images have the potential to become self-fulfilling prophecies in many ways. And I think we need to be more creative in the way we communicate and be more positive because I mean, there is a lot of positive things going on, especially in sub-Saharan Africa that people here in Norway have no idea about.
With poverty, corruption, with HIV and crime.
It's unlikely that this will be the last time the West is accused of stereotyping Africa, but campaigns like this one show that fewer people are willing to accept it. Alex Jakana, BBC News.
It may be humorous, but does it make a good point? That was the question that we've been asking. Andrew Mkomba in Malawi says, we are in a global village. We need to assist one another where it's possible, but it's no paying back what, if I may ask? We have to help each other where we can. And then there's Mwangi Maina Eddie from Kenya. I guess tongue-in-cheek, ha ha ha. Thank God in Africa, summer all year round. I don't need a heater. BBC, tell me, how do I donate my heater to the freezing Norwegians? But really, should we save them from freezing? All right. And then finally from Stephen in Nigeria. Yes, indeed. We don't need charity in Africa. We are not a hungry continent. We only need reliable and competent leaders. Let's not sing senseless songs in the name of charity. And the debate goes on. If you feel like you still would like to have your voice heard on that, why don't you go to our Facebook page, the BBC Africa Facebook page. A very lively conversation going on about that subject. You know what? 3 astronauts from the International Space Station have returned to Earth after 4 months in space. They landed early Monday morning in a Russian Soyuz capsule in the cold of Kazakhstan before traveling home in a Russian-built capsule. The crew appeared in good shape despite the cold. It was minus 10 degrees Celsius and snowing heavily when they landed. They conducted several experiments, including tests on radiation levels and research into the effects of melting glaciers and seasonal changes on our ecosystem. Okay, so now back on Earth, we're going to try and get Dr. Casely Hayford again and get his thoughts on that music video. Dr. Casely Hayford, you're with us now, aren't you?
I'm with you.
Okay, what do you think of it? Is it good? Does it make a strong point?
I think it makes a really strong point, and the great thing about it is that it makes it with humour. I haven't laughed as much in a long time, and laughing about serious issues like that, connected with Africa, I think is a really important thing. And it just throws the light back on the West. All of those patronising videos and development initiatives that we're all so aware of. I think it's really good that we reflect on those again. You know, I think a 21st century perspective on these issues is something that's really needed, and this helps you to reflect on some of those things.
Dr. Casely Hayford, I'm so sorry. There's so much more we could talk about, but they're wrapping me up right now, so I'm going to have to say goodbye. We will have another opportunity to talk about this. Apologies, folks. Focus on Africa returns tomorrow at the same time. Bye-bye.